Let me put you a bit.
Okie dokie, introducing next on my radio program now and the podcasts, accepting my invitation to interview a female singer-songwriter and musician, Anissa Damali. Welcome to my show. Very nice to have you with me, and a warm welcome to you.
Nice to meet you, Danny. Hello. Hello, everybody.
Yes, very good. And how are you today? And where are you currently in the world at present?
Right now, I'm in my hometown. I'm in Switzerland, in Basel, and present all around the world. I was living even in London for about 3 years. So I was like, I'm kind of like international going around, but that's like my base here
Ah,
in my colorful studio right
yeah.
now. Yeah.
And it's a good feeling to be back home, when you've kind of done a gig, you've been on tour and you're finally back home. Do you like that home comfort?
I like always to come home, but I also like, like I'm like a horse. I mean, I love adventures. I love to travel. That was always a thing even before I travel with music. But this is for me kind of like it's part of my life. I mean, the planet is huge.
It
We
is,
have
isn't
so
it? They say it's a
so
small world, but it is big, really.
it is big. It's actually the most magical thing. Like we are kind of floating on that
Yes,
ball. We're
global.
not.
And I was going to ask you, do you find that your music career and travel come hand in hand?
I mean, I do have now grown-up kids, so I think it's a good time for traveling. Like that's probably the thing. Like I can take them with me or the big one takes for I mean it's okay. It's I think the logistic is going well. Yeah.
That's good. And with with your music as well, just taking it from the beginning, really. When did you first dabble with like music?
The first time when I really like started to be in touch.
Yeah, I guess like when did you have like musical instrument lessons or?
I mean, I studied like studying not like it. I got sent by the like I got raised by a single mother and like the lady who was caring for me. I was in a beautiful place, grown up with many childrens, and it looks like that I didn't stop moving when there was music around, and so they sent me to a music school when I was 6. And there they did obviously all those things that I didn't want to do in that age. La, 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 la. I was like,
Yeah,
no, I want to be a rock singer. And I was like Tina Turner, Michael Jackson. I was like, no, I didn't know that's part of the game or part of the study. At the end, I'm an autodidact. I mean, I studied in London 3 years. When I was 19, I left to London to study music there. Switzerland, to be honest, we have a paradise island. We're having a very safe spot, but in sense of culture and music, it's not that much that I was looking for. I
mm,
was hungry for more. So that's why I went to London, as it also was the favorite city of my mother. And that's kind of like, but with 6 years, I think, I came out of the belly and I just, music is part of my life. It's not something that I kind of learned or it's something that I need. Yeah.
sometimes just born to do it.
I think these days we are in a really strange episode. Let's say episode. Episode of planet Earth. There's so much around with the social media. You have so many singers, you have all those talent shows, which I even attend. I never wanted, but then, my friends will tell, no, no, you have to do it again. No. And, they sent me once before I went to London, actually, and even did it until the final, until I said, I want to leave because that's just not my thing. And I was on TV and everything. And I honestly am surprised how many good voices we have on the planet. And that makes me happy. That makes me very happy. I always say music comes from the angels, and it's good that we have a lot of great singers, but being an artist or having a story for me is still something else.
Yeah, 100%. And just fast forward to today, I just wanted to
Oh.
get you on my show. One of the other reasons I did so was to chat about some of your new singles that you've released, um, and promoting. Should we go with a song called "The Sun"? I like that one because it's got sun in it.
It got sun in it. And now as we're having a little bit sure, let's go for it. Let's go
Yeah.
for
So
it,
how
Danny.
would you describe this track and kind of what goes with it?
Yeah, I mean, sun is, as you just said, I mean, we need the sun, we need the light. You're a sun, I'm a sun. We can give smile to each other so we can make other people happy, which is having a
Yeah.
nice moment together and brings warmth to people through music. But the sun, I mean, this song is really a homage. It's really a homage to the sun. And yeah, to everything, that she's for. I mean, we can even say like the dark side of the moon, or now I'm thinking about Pink Floyd right now. Like all that kind of we need it. I mean, all the colors,
Yeah.
all the flowers. I mean, we need the sun. This is a very clear thing, vitamin D. And this song is made for the goddess sun, just to bring her in all her colors and talk about what she's meant to be and why she's here for
Mm.
us. Yeah.
And who did you work with on this record? And did you manage to have any kind of input on the production or playing any instruments?
I mean, I played this song. I do play actually all kind of instruments, to compose. I mean, I do play the piano. I have a drum here. I
Yeah,
do have guitar and ukulele. So obviously I when I start to compose a song, I use those harmony instruments. Not particular that I played on that song. These are all musicians. So I wrote the lyrics together with my producer, and yeah.
amazing. And would you say Sun takes the listener on a journey?
I hope so. I mean, that's also, I mean, a perspective of the listener. It's not like that everyone has to like my voice or my style of music. I mean, and I think that's why it's also nice to have so many artists. But it takes definitely, I mean, it brings you a lot of heat into your heart, and like that's what I want. It goes straight to your heart
Yeah,
through the
that's what we're
song.
looking for, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
And it
Spread
must
some
be
love.
you must be euphoric feeling to feature on some playlists, respectable playlists, and to have your music played on radio and reach out and be applauded by the general public.
Sorry, I missed you. Sorry. Can
Yeah,
you repeat
it
that?
must be a euphoric, a great feeling to be received by the general public and have your song on the radio.
That's wonderful. I'm very thankful for that, that my songs are, I mean, that's, I think, the goal of every artist, that your music really goes out. I mean, especially these days where, again, we have so much platforms, where
Mm,
sometimes it's not, people don't even listen anymore track until to the end, that's kind of sad, I mean, I'm still from a generation, even though I'm not that old, but I am still, or I look much like I searched that in the very beginning of my need being a musician, or like going through vinyls of my mother, and like having this whole thing, like that whole artwork, and listening from the beginning to the end. I think like these days it's just like swapping through, and that's the only thing that makes me kind of sad. And I think it would make us feel much better when we, in sense of patience too, to kind of calm down and
yeah,
enjoy the song from the very beginning to the end.
yeah. I think patience still gets one far in life, still, eventually.
I yeah, I mean, I'm looking for patient people, but it's a busy world, and
It
we're
is.
all living in that busy world. But there's always a moment to calm down, especially the sun song is done when you go to holidays, you can take a time off, be on the beach, listen to sun, and just enjoy yourself in the
Mm,
sand,
yeah,
and know again what you're here for, and watch that wonderful goddess up there.
yeah. We need some me time now and again.
Definitely, we
Yeah,
have to. We have to
yeah.
take time. Yeah,
And
that's for sure.
another song I wanted to touch on was Take a Break, and it also had an Indian remix. Where did that influence come about from?
Okay, we have like the Brazilian version and the Eamon's version, which is an Indian version. First of all, Take a Break started very like soul-y pop. And I mean, I remember I mean, usually people are not singers say, yeah, I sing under the shower, but actually I really composed that song under the shower. And I was not in a very good mood. I wasn't in a good time of my life. So I was like, so many destinies we got in this world. Each one carries its own cross, So like I was like in this trying to kind of feel someone very far away, but like going through the same situation, and then I felt much connected. And
Mm,
that's how Take a Break came. It's like take a break. Again, like song, take a break, like goes all together too, right?
yeah.
But then the Brazilian version, because I lived like almost a decade in Brazil, and I really wanted to have this influence there because, to be honest, I really lived a different kind of rhythm of life in Brazil. Obviously, I really enjoyed the day much more than I'm much more busy here, and like it's a different life feeling. People, the exchange is different. The nature is very close, and so it was easy for me to take a break in Brazil for sure.
Mm.
I took a break,
And would you
and
would you say Take a Break's quite a spiritual track?
yeah, you can name it as that. It's
Mm.
okay. I'm okay with that for sure, for sure. I mean, if you listen, it's nice that you. I think I can tell you listen to the lyrics. You know, not of people do, and that's already makes me
Mm,
a lot makes me happy because you actually see, oh wow, that's kind of in between the lines and take a break, and of course the sounds that come in, if it's the berimbau of Brazil or the Indian sitar, like all that kind of thing, makes it of course a bit more like spiritual, as we say
yes.
today. We're
And
all spiritual.
have you released any music videos, maybe for Sun or Take a Break?
Sorry, if I released more music for.
Music videos for them two songs.
Yes, yes. Take a Break and Sun. They do have wonderful music clips. Check them out, actually. Yeah.
Right. And one of the other songs called Quiero, what was the experience of writing that song and releasing different versions of it as well?
Oh, well, the different versions, that wasn't me. I mean, these days, all the DJs, they just take a song and
Yeah.
they remixing it and that's great. I mean, Kero did kind of like its own way. There was not, to be honest, that much investment, which is kind of funny. It's something that just flows by itself. And also doesn't have that much lyrics that you can tell in Take a Break or Sun, which is more lyrical,
Mm,
Kero is more dancey. It's an electronic music, something
yeah.
that you either chill on the beach or just have a great party night.
Because Emanates, the original, has a kind of electro Latino flavor to it.
Yeah, yeah. Also the language, obviously. I mean, I do speak 7 languages today. I want to learn more. I mean,
Oh,
I didn't speak English for a long time. It's kind of like I'm also like right now practicing. But yeah, for me, this is kind of like very important to adapt to those different emotions that we have anyway. And quiero is something that I connect straight away with saudade, with love, like missing someone, like Spanish and Portuguese goes very well. Also
mm.
French, of course.
And like
For
yeah, as you mentioned, I was gonna say, yeah, you speak 7 language. It must be a great asset to have, especially if you travel the world globe trot.
I couldn't imagine. I don't even know how it is not to speak so many languages, to be honest. It's kind of like, I mean, I learned them all by myself and I didn't do any classes or something like that. Of course, I studied in London. That's why I had to learn English. I mean, luckily, we have English lessons at school until a certain grade, but it's not that the English. I mean, I went to London and heard Wicked. I was like, what's that? I've never heard that. So actually, you really get to use the language once you live at the place, once you live in the country. And but it's beautiful, yes, just to go out of the plane and be able to speak, to not have that hustle in your head and like, oh God, was like, what am I gonna do? And like take the dictionary and stuff. I mean, these days, we have like all the internet. We have so many things. I think I heard even of a what was that? Like kind of machine, like who
Trans,
traduces. Imagine you're on a date and you have that thing. I mean, no, I'm sorry.
yeah. Is that translator? Is it like,
Exactly.
yeah.
Translate. That's what I was looking for. That word. Thank you, Danny. Exactly. That was the thing. So, I mean, I prefer to, I think we're all able to learn. And I don't think also, I mean, I learned Portuguese with 27. And I don't think, like people sometimes say, when you're a child, it's much easier. I don't think it's that. I think when you
Hmm,
want something, then it's going to be easy.
yeah. That's fascinating. And I must ask about your cover version of David Bowie's Life on Mars. Was this song always one track you always aspired to release? And has David Bowie always been one of your musical heroes?
David Bowie is a visionary person, and I feel much connected. I mean, Anissa Damali, if you don't know, Damali means a beautiful vision. Of course, that was long, this name exists long before that I actually came to the idea that I will release a David Bowie song. And I wasn't, I didn't program that in my early, I mean, as I said, like my mother grew up, I listened to David Bowie, to the Beatles when I was young, even though I made a U-turn and I went to jazz, soul, and bossa nova. Now what's happening? I think we are living in a world and David Bowie, oh, um, he said it all. I mean, there's so many things that when I even listen now and then now we have those TikTok things and it comes to videos and even in sense of the social media and the internet, there's so many things that he already knew or kind of pre-announced kind of. And life on Mars makes a lot of sense, I think, these days, because when I watch the world, honestly, um, just want to cry again. It's just
Mm.
doesn't make me happy. And I think we should start to learn first to have a good life with each other here on
Yeah.
planet Earth.
And is that one of your current singles that you're promoting at
Yeah,
the
that's
moment?
exactly this one. Yeah, yeah, that's the actual one at the moment. Yeah.
Great. And how would you describe your sounds? You seem like a quite a positive person. And would you like your sounds to be upbeat and a bit catchy in places, positive?
Yes, definitely, definitely. I mean, I do it's hard for me to categorize me. I think that was always hard also for labels because I love jazz, I love soul music. I mean, definitely I don't have a voice for a heavy metal band to be honest, but even this I
Mm,
would love, I love to headbang once now and then. And I love to dance. So for me, yeah, it has to be an up mood, but it has to be colorful and it has to be lyrical. People have to start to listen again. It's not that baby, baby, catch me. I mean, that's okay sometimes too, when I'm in summer and I have a nice drink. I even enjoy that kind of music. But no autotuning, please. And like just real voices. For me, this is important. And I love like also this African voicings where many women sing together. I mean, I grew up with that, and in Brazil, especially, I mean, of course, I had this influence of celebrating music together, having a lot of rhythm, especially, having a lot of guitar sounds. And yeah, that's kind of like my style. That's me, like it has to be positive, but it
yeah,
can be also sometimes a ballad. Sometimes
yeah.
we're just in
That's
that
what I like
mood.
about South American music. It's got that carnivalesque vibe about it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's what it is. It's I mean, you can't stop it. I mean, I've never seen so many talented musicians like in Brazil, to be honest. I
Oh, wow.
mean, they
And
do not
what are the
have
strategies that have helped you become
uh,
successful on
these
your
kind
journey?
of musicals, yeah, as we have. I mean, God makes the plan. I do have plans, and obviously it's nice to be successful with what you love to do. But this is still I think that the audience also have to decide, or let's say the business, not even the audience. I think sometimes the audience is much more on my side than the business side. So
Hmm.
it depends really. There is not a real strategy, but what I know for sure is I only know as the track that we also released that was like just before Life on Mars. Last song we released, I only know, which actually also says in the lyrics, at the end, just go your way, just go your way
Yeah,
because anyway, that big for the universe and do what you really have to do. And I think everyone has a mission to complete. And if we were successful and we can reach a lot of people with this
yeah.
positivity, then it's
That's
okay.
right. You're in here once and got one shot.
Sorry.
And oh yeah, we're only here once, and you only have one shot
Yeah,
to.
yeah, exactly. That's it. That's it. So take the chance. Take the
Yes, that's
chance.
right. And such a broad question, but any artists on your radar you may wish to collaborate with or work with?
Oh yeah, Bruno Mars.
Ooh.
No, this is like really funny. I've never listened really. Bruno Mars, Die with a Smile. What a song.
Mm,
I mean, they are great. There are a lot of great musicians, but I'm kind of very critic, and that's one of the like new stars that I think it's great in sense of voice, musical style.
yeah,
Yeah, very cool. But and to be honest, I mean the ones that I really loved, they're all gone. Like I listen a lot to Freddie Mercury and I mean, yeah, I wanted to do a duo definitely with Freddie, that's for sure.
yeah, yeah.
Maybe in future.
Um, because yeah, Bruno Mars, although he's been around for a number of years, he's still fresh. Every track he releases different to one
Yeah,
another.
yeah, yeah. It's a great track he did with Lady Gaga too,
Hmm.
right now.
And penultimately, where is best for people to follow you on social media, or if you have a
Yeah,
website, fire away.
definitely. Definitely on Instagram and listen to my music on Spotify and all digital platforms. But for me, Spotify, of course, is a place where you can listen to all kind of music that I released. And yeah, that gives me a beautiful return. And in sense of shows that you really follow me on Instagram, so you can catch up and we see
Yeah,
each other on. That's for sure. Once you close.
that's amazing. And finally, any words you may just like to add to the interview?
Hey, Danny, first of all, thank you so much for having me, having this interview. And I do like the where you are right now.
Yes, I'm in
Very.
Birmingham, which is in West Midlands, England.
Oh, that's great. And that's where music comes from. That's why I say, I mean, I'm very, very happy just to spread the voice over there to England, to Birmingham. Thank you for having me. And let's try to make a more peaceful world. Let's like to be more kind to each other.
Yeah,
It's not that much that we need, that this world could be definitely a better
yeah.
world.
And it
Many more.
costs nothing to be kind.
No, it costs nothing. It's just a
Uh,
smile. We're all, I think we should be more transparent. Like each one goes through a very difficult time sometimes, but it's like always, we always want to kind of like be safe. And you're not safe, we cannot be under control. Like control has someone else. But let's
yeah,
just enjoy that moment
yeah.
together.
Well,
We're meant to be with each other right now.
it's been a joy having you on my show. And out of the tracks that you have, which song would you like me to play just to kind of like wrap up this interview?
Hey, let's do I only now.
Okay,
I think
brilliant. All right, then
okay.
thanks for your time today and wish you very the
Much then.
best with your musical journey onwards and upwards.
Thank you. Hope to see you soon, Birmingham.
Yes, you never know. See you on tour somewhere.
Thank you so much. Have a good time. All the
And yourself.
best.
Bye bye bye.
Bye.